and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where your boys always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and today, guys, Nate Pearson, is he breaking out in the Dominican League? Going to be a Super A starter for the Toronto Blue Jays in 2023? We're going to get into all of that, but guys, before we do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, TODAYJAYS is the code for Betstamp. If you like sports betting and like to line chops, Betstamp is the app for you. All right, so Nate Pearson. Guys, remember who that guy is?
Dude.
One time a #1 prospect, and now he's surfacing. He's breaking out in the Dominican League.
Well,
dude.
it's about time, and the one thing that you said that also messed me up, that you said messed you up, is that Nate Pearson is 26.
Oh, 26
26.
now.
He's going to be turning 27. What the heck?
Dude,
that's insanity.
Dude, he started in 2020 as a 23-year-old. That's
Yeah.
when he made his debut.
Yeah.
And he's just turned 26.
Literally.
So.
And just to throw it back to when, like, in that time period in 2020, when he was like the 8th or 9th ranked prospect in all of baseball. All of baseball.
Yeah.
And here we are 3 years later, and we're like, oh, look at his Dominican League stats. It's like, holy crap. This has been a long road.
Dude, he's starting to become like that guy that like it's forgotten about. It's like,
Totally.
oh yeah, remember that #1 overall prospect?
Yeah.
And he's coming up much later. I mean, granted, this guy's been through a ton of injuries.
Absolutely.
Broken arms, strained groins, like
Yeah,
literally
fucking
mono,
mono,
like nothing goes right for this guy, but he's having a nice Dominican League right now.
Absolutely is.
Like 11 innings pitched, a 0.82 ERA, 4 walks, 15 strikeouts. That's nice to see.
Yeah.
And 5 hits. So this guy's looking good. Now, is he going to be that starter that everyone thinks he's going to be, Nick?
Yeah, like, I was clinging to that for quite a while. I felt like I was one of the last few to give up on that, but I truly don't believe that there is anyone left who is in that camp at this point. Like, if he did want to somehow do that, like, great, dude. I'm all for it. But I can't actively sit here and tell you guys, yeah, I think he's going to become a starter after 3 years of, like, flopping around and injuring himself and doing nothing. No, it's not going to happen, guys. The best hope now for Nate Pearson is to become a higher leverage bullpen guy that can come in, throw his gas, and get out of situations where there is 1 or 2 runners on base. I mean, we saw it in the World Series, right? Houston was whipping around these guys who had 101 fastballs just coming out of the pen in critical key situations, and it was those guys who maybe don't get heralded as being the MVP like Pena did, but they helped win too, right? It's like they were critical for that team to win all those games and to win that title.
Oh, yeah. And even better, with that starting pitcher background, Nate Pearson could actually give you a bit of length. We got Scott Mitchell tweeting saying he's going into camp this spring training as a one-time through the order relief option. So maybe you bring him in that 6th inning. Maybe your starting pitcher gets blown up.
Right.
You got to get 2 more innings. You got to get through the tough part of the lineup. Get to that depleted bullpen maybe late in the series. Like, that could be a good option for Nate.
And that is something that the Toronto Blue Jays definitely have missed, is a quality guy in that role, right? It's like, who did we have? We've had Trent Thornton do that before, and like obviously that guy's a roller coaster. We had Yusei Kikuchi become that guy for us at the end. It's like, this is us basically waving the white flag and being like, okay, game's over, like we're done now, you know? Now I'm not gonna come out in here and say that like Nate Pearson is, you know, like a godsend or gonna be incredible for us, because obviously, you know, he has struggled at the major league level, but does he have more upside than Trent Thornton? I think so. You know, it's like, it's possible that maybe he could thrive in a role like that because, 1, you're not going to get tired out when you're throwing your gas. 2, there's lower risk of injury. And 3, because you have that starter background, you know how to handle an entire lineup, and you can mentally prep yourself to get through 2 or 3 innings.
Yeah, and what's great, like, just being a one-time through the lineup guy, it's like, look, you don't have to, like, just unload your best stuff on this guy right now. You don't have to think about, okay, well, I'm going to set up from a second half like, no, like, we take the pressure off him, and, like, literally, like, this guy is not built to go 5 innings. Like, his stamina, literally the last time he threw over 100 innings was in 2019.
That's insane.
2019. like, bro, this guy's not a starter, but please, throw 60, 50 innings for us in the bullpen. I would love that. That's your potential.
Totally, right? And, like, if you could actually become elite, then that'd just be, like, another addition to the bullpen
100%.
that we don't need to spend more money on. It's like, we have it already. So, Nate Pearson, keep doing well in the Dominican League. I look forward to watching you come training camp and all that you have to offer, because, you know, I've not completely given up on you yet.
No, absolutely not.
Next part of Toronto Blue Jays news. Dan Shulman. Gone. Oh God. No, that's how they literally tricked us on Twitter. Like I was reading this thing.
Yeah.
Dan Shulman is gone, but he's leaving ESPN. So you've probably seen the articles by now. He's not leaving the Toronto Blue Jays. In fact, he might even be more well rested and like more excited to watch Toronto baseball because now he doesn't have this whole other job that he is doing, and he's going to exclusively be doing Blue Jays with Sportsnet, which is cool.
Yeah, no more basketball, no more baseball for Dan Shulman. Just Toronto baseball.
Just Blue Jays.
And you know what's funny? In the title of one of this articles I read was he wants to see a World Series with the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Me too, man. I mean, he wants to be that voice that calls the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. walk-off or go-ahead home run in the 8th against the LA Dodgers. That would be incredible. So, yeah, Dan, from all of us, we love you. I love Dan Shulman. He's my favorite commentator on that broadcast crew. So, welcome back, baby. Welcome back. But we're glad to have you for a very
and of
long
course
time.
he wants to be that guy, dude. Like I don't know the guy's name who called the Joe Carter touch 'em all thing. But it's like you know that that line, right? Like everybody knows that line of like touch 'em all, Joe, right? So it's like you could be immortalized in history if that did happen. So that is the news for today, everybody. Toronto Blue Jays Nate Pearson doing pretty well, and Dan Shulman, he ain't going anywhere, folks. Let us know what you think in the comments down below about Nate Pearson, about Dan Shulman. Could Nate Pearson become a guy? I want you to answer it down below.
Guys, $3 a month to become a Patreon. Shout out and thank you to all of our current Patrons. You guys are absolutely awesome.
Thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go!